So, hello and welcome back to the Final Whistle podcast. This week, joining me and Bobby is Adam, and we're here to talk about why Leeds United are so bad. They lost to. Oh, I've done something. I've moved my screen. Give me a second. They lost to Crawley in the FA Cup 3-0. Obviously, Mark Wright got on the pitch. Bobby.
Yeah, I saw that.
How much do you think Bielsa would have been pissed off with that?
Yeah, I'm sure they got a standard kicking after that, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I did see the highlights. They just looked like a little bit sloppy, and, Crawley obviously wanted it more, and, they came out with a better result. I'm sure Bielsa would not be happy with his team after that.
I was just thinking now, to be honest, the fact he doesn't do interviews in English because he has his translator. How does he
Yeah.
give him a rollicking in the dressing room?
I don't know, he just starts swearing in...
Does he just start screaming and the translator goes, "You are very bad players"?
He's Italian, isn't he, Bielsa?
I think he's Argentinian, I think.
Oh, right. I mean,
But
I honestly don't know, but
you would have
it's a bit
thought
embarrassing.
the fact that you've been managing in England since 2018, you might have wanted to learn the language.
Yeah, and maybe he's not
just-
asked, you know.
Yeah, like,
It might help. It might also make them more scared of him because they don't know what he's saying.
yeah.
So like, he could
Oh,
be saying
you're Rodney
crap.
Plonko.
He's Argentinian.
Yeah.
He is. Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, there was all the memes going around of like Bielsa trying to explain how they lost to Crawley, but getting his translator to do it. It's just like two people that just kind of look like them vaguely.
Yeah.
But that's awful, and they haven't been doing brilliant in the Premier League recently either, which have been getting a few people to question their ability at football. But not
Yeah.
Sky Sports because I mean,
No.
Sky Sports are like, oh my god, look at them go. Adam, what have you thought of them? Obviously, I haven't played them because we're not in the Premier League. But yeah, what did you think of them?
I thought at the beginning of the season they started off quite well. I thought they were putting in a good shift against I think their first game was against Liverpool. They lost 4-3, but that's still a pretty good shift against the champions. I mean they as the season went on they were going slightly downhill, but I don't know, there might be lack of confidence, lack of communication now. It could be the manager and his translator, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Recently, they've not been playing very well. They won 2 out of their last 5, lost the other 3, and I feel like they'd be doing better now because they're not exactly a bad side. I don't feel, but I feel
No.
like, but then again, they're not the great side. So
Yeah,
I think probably their setup requires so much. It relies heavily on them going forward so much and getting goals. And if they don't get goals, you see that they're so open and they'll start losing games. And that is, that's what's happening because people are sitting back more, catching on to it, and then counter-attacking them. I guess that's just what people have decided to do. I mean, we got a 0-0 against Leeds.
Whew.
That was
Game
in
of the
our
season.
it was more in their favour. They definitely played better than us. They made more chances. They hit the post a few times. But yeah, I think, Leeds, I don't know why, but since that not the scandal, like the tweet thing happened with the female pundit, since she said that they got promoted because of COVID and they only just come up from the championship, they haven't lost a game. No, they've lost all of their games, not scored a goal, and conceded 7. So, I mean...
Yeah, maybe they were just like, oh, maybe we were promoted because of COVID. Well, we can't play football
and now
anymore.
they've just realised that they're not good enough.
Well, they've got the 6th most goals scored this season with 30, which is quite impressive. But they've got the 2nd worst defence in the league behind West Brom. But, I mean, anyone's got a better defence than West Brom.
Exactly.
West Brom have conceded 41 goals and Leeds have conceded 34. So, as the questions that have been going around, even Sky asked it in one of their games, was about how good Bielsa's football actually is. They've got some good results. Obviously, they beat West Brom 5-0. They beat Leeds. They beat Leeds. Leeds beats Leeds, everyone. They beat Newcastle 5-2. But then they lost to Palace 4-1 and United 6-2. Bobby, do you think Bielsa's style of play is overrated? I mean, he got nominated for Coach of the Year because you won
Yeah, I know.
the
I
championship.
mean, I haven't really, apart from I watched a bit of the United game. I obviously watched the game against Arsenal and the Liverpool game. They did look decent going forward. They looked like they had goals in them. They've got a lot of good players. Bamford, Rafinha. They're signing Rodrigo's not totally hit the ground running. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Calvin Phillips is probably quite overrated. And not saying he's a bad player, but I don't think he's the best midfielder, and they probably could do with someone a bit more commanding, or maybe a leader out there. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe teams have just caught onto their style of play.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. Obviously, I hate Leeds with a
Yeah,
passion, but I mean, they were a good team. A few of their players that they've got now in their team, they still had in the championship, but then they've obviously spent a lot of money this season in the
just getting
Premier League,
promoted.
getting
Yeah.
like 100 million or whatever it is, getting promoted
Hmm.
to bring in the big names. But like the fact that you're losing 4-1 to Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace, I
Yeah.
think is a bit of a worry. And Adam, do you think that people just kind of overreacted when obviously they put Bielsa down as one of the Coach of the Year nominees? Do you think that was totally stupid?
I don't think it was totally stupid. It wasn't the best decision in the world, but it wasn't stupid because he did. He's been doing all right. He's not been doing bad as well because other managers in the Prem that's not been great. But
Mm,
then he's also been doing better than others, being in the position they are at the moment. So,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
it was more putting him in for getting Leeds up after so many years. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know. I never knew that getting teams promoted from the Championship was a world class achievement, especially one as big as Leeds. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, talking of that, I think Flick was robbed to not get Manager of the Year. I don't
yeah.
think Klopp
Klopp.
deserved it.
No, I don't think he did either. I think
I,
Klopp.
I think I think Arteta might have deserved it.
The
Yeah,
excellence of getting them to an FA Cup. Because the last time did that was Arsene Wenger, and he was a managerial legend at Arsenal. Well, not in the last few years, but he was all right. The fact that Bielsa getting nominated for Coach of the Year for the same season that he
yeah.
lost to Nottingham Forest, like 4-1 or 4-2. I mean,
Hmm.
I think we deserve Coach of the Year for that, even though we're not doing too good. But at Leeds United, they've got, as we said, some good got some good attacking threats. One of the main ones that I don't think anyone expected. I thought people probably thought it would be Rodrigo, but Patrick Bamford is
Hmm.
the seventh top scorer in the league,
How many?
with
Like 8 goals, 9 goals?
10,
Oh,
10,
10. All right.
and Salah's first with 13, so not far behind.
Yeah.
How I mean, how impressed or surprised do you seem to see him on that list, Bobby?
I mean, he had a great start to the season. I think he scored a hat trick in one of the games. He was put up there, not really had too much expectations of him. And, he's performed, he's scored goals, I think. He's done everything they could ask. Maybe in recent games, maybe could have lifted the team. But, yeah, I think he's obviously surprised everyone with the amount of goals he scored compared to a lot of the players this year, like Aubameyang or Werner or Martial.
Mm. And the goalkeeper that they brought in the summer, Melia, I think is how you say it, he's got the
Yeah, the
fifth.
12-year-old looking geezer.
So he's got the joint fifth, like tied fifth for clean sheets with Bernd Leno, Lloris,
That's interesting.
Pope.
That's interesting. He's got like joint fifth clean sheets, but then they have like the second worst defensive record.
I mean, it was only 6 clean sheets,
True.
bearing in mind
Who's got the most?
Edison with 9.
Oh, okay.
So, I
And they've
mean,
got games in hand.
yeah, considering so he's kept 6 clean sheets in 18 games, so that's all right. A third of the
One in
games.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Do you think, Adam, we could see him, obviously not this season because it would be a FIFA and he does not want to move because he has recently signed a new contract at the club. Do you think we could see him being poached by a bigger team in the near future? Obviously, he's quite young.
I reckon a top 6 team probably might try and grab him in a few seasons. But it also depends on the seasons to come and how he plays because it could be a one season wonder, get a load of clean sheets this season, and next season let in like 47 goals a game.
Mm.
I think
And
a lot of the goalkeeper depends on like the defenders in front of them. If you can
Yeah.
trust your defenders, then he's going to have a better time.
yeah,
'Cause-
I was gonna say, like, I think if you were to be picked up by an English club, it would probably be like Arsenal, probably because as a
Maybe a
backup
backup
for
as
Leno,
opposed
but
to
when
Rinison.
yeah, who's
Yeah.
yeah.
not exactly quality. I'm on my FM save at the moment. I'm in the Premier League and I've just got like Ruddison in on loan with an option to buy of an amazing future fee of £1, which I think just shows the quality that he's doing. But yeah, and then assists joint. I printed this too small. Um, Sixth top assists was Click with 5. I think that says.
Yeah.
Kane's got 11.
Yeah. I expected that, to be honest.
Yeah. How many of the Leeds squad do you think that maybe have? Or how well do you think their squad's adapted to the Premier League, Adam?
I think again at the beginning of the season, obviously because they were winning games, I feel like I don't think they adapted well. I think they just came up with an unexpected play because the Premier League teams have kind of got used to each other throughout the whole last season. And they come in, they win games because no one really knows what their play is. And as the season's gone on, they're starting to lose games. That's probably because then teams have realised, hang on, they play like this. Let's get the counter attack, go score the goals against them, and stop and just get a stronger defence. Stop their like strikers scoring against
Yeah.
them.
And Bobby, they're on 23 points. Obviously, Fulham are 18th with 12, and well, the top 6. Basically, the minimum's going to be 34 by the time all the games in hand are played. Do you think
Yeah.
that for in the rest of the season we'll see Leeds pushing up the table, or do you think they'll go or stay where they are or further down?
With the teams that are performing this year, I don't think I might be wrong. They might start playing well again, but I don't think that they're gonna go up the table. I think they should stay where they are. I think that would be a decent season if they manage to stay in that sort of region. I don't think they want to go any further. I don't think they will go any higher. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
I
currently
think
12th at the moment. So
I think that would be all right. They probably want to get maybe 9th or 10th. That would be a good season for them. But I can't see them going much higher. Definitely not past 9th or 8th.
Yeah, for a first season in the Premier League, I think mid-table, that's quite a respectable finish,
Yeah.
considering how some of the transfers haven't necessarily played up to expectation as
Mhm.
much. And I was just gonna say so. Sheffield United are obviously bottom, not doing too well, but they got a win finally.
Yeah.
And last season, if you look at Sheffield United, they were doing really well, obviously around the top 5, 6 area.
Mhm.
Do you think that we could see next season? Do you think the same will happen to Leeds? What's happened to Sheffield United this season? Have them gone down so badly, or do you think that Bielsa and the quality of squad are too good for that to happen? I'll start with Adam, and then we'll go to Bobby.
sorry, what?
Do you think that obviously Sheffield United have done badly after their really good season last year? Do you think that this will happen to Leeds next year, or do you think they're too good for that?
Um, I reckon if they bring in some more signings, Leeds this is, I reckon they could maybe maintain the place they are now in their next season, or they could even go up to like 6th to 8th maybe. I reckon they could do that, but it depends if they don't bring any players in and change their play style. Then I reckon they'll do a Sheffield United and go down.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to maybe bolster their defence and adapt to the sort of quicker, I don't know, the more attacking teams in the league, and they're going to have to like be a bit more disciplined, maybe stop them from conceding many goals.
Yeah, they've got. I think they've got the kind of sense that they can be a really big threat and possibly break into Europe. That was from what we saw at the start of the season. Obviously, they've not been as good lately, but I think
Plateaued
they
off,
definitely got a
yeah.
lot of promise if they bring in maybe some more either proven players in top leagues in Europe or some promising youngsters through that can add a bit of pace and injection into the side. Then
Yeah,
I think they
definitely.
can do well, but they definitely need to upgrade from what they've got at the moment. Obviously, I don't think Bielsa will go anywhere.
No.
He'll remain on the touchline with his little stump of little seat that is really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we've got for today. Leeds United, they're doing all right.
Also, I don't know if
Oh,
I
wait.
could sneak this in quickly. I thought maybe we could get your opinion on Mesut Ozil going to Fenerbahce, since it's like just hot off yesterday. What do you guys both think of that?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think it's a good thing for both parties, for Arsenal and Özil. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
Arsenal getting him off the wages, and
because they
Özil
terminated the
actually
contract, I think, didn't they?
yeah,
That he
Özil
didn't have to
actually
pay any
gets to
more.
play some football, somewhere, and I
Yeah,
think that he was because he's like really friendly with the Turkish president anyway, or whatever. Grew up in Turkey or something like that. So
yeah,
he's obviously wants to go there. Like before he even signed, he showed pictures of himself like with the scarf and everything getting off the plane. So I think it will be a good move for him and for Arsenal. Whether they can do anything over there or just win a few Turkish leagues, I mean, either way, I think Mesut Ozil will be fine because he's got enough money from doing nothing.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And any score predictions for Arsenal Newcastle?
Well, Adam, what do you think? So I've got to think about how badly
I
Arsenal will do.
reckon. So Arsenal, I reckon they're gonna score 1 goal.
You think it'll be 1-0
I
or
reckon
1-1?
that, and then I reckon yellow card for Newcastle because they've been seeming to get their cards lately, and then
Yeah.
Newcastle will go and have goal in either early minutes or late minutes.
Yeah, I think
Right, and Harry?
it will be a close one because we all know how good a side Newcastle are and how extremely poor Arsenal are. It will either be a 1-0 Arsenal, but like a late second half goal,
Yeah,
or a
maybe a
0-0,
1-1
a 0-0.
1 or a 0-0. Yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah. I
don't
think
see
I'm gonna.
them scoring.
I'll go 1-0.
We'll have to see. I'll have to go downstairs and watch it now. But thank you
Yeah,
everybody for
same.
listening. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, or to add the channel if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. That's all we've got time for. That was the final whistle.